all the adverse effects happening, and they're trying to kill our military.
So I was speaking to a young lady earlier, and she said that her son is about to get dishonorably discharged from the National Guard because of the mandate. What do you think about that?
I think she needs to file a lawsuit against the military.
Thank you, sir. Huh?
He's in the National Guard. He's been in there for probably 4 years, and he won't take the vaccine, and they're going to get rid of him in a month. They told him it'd be a month.
How long has he been in until now?
Probably about 6 years, I think.
And what kind of discharge is he going to get?
I don't know. They said it's not going to be dishonorable, but I don't know. They don't guarantee that.
What do you hope to accomplish being here, or what do you hope the convoy is going to accomplish?
I hope we can get rid of this vaccine mandate and all these, just the whole thing. Masks and everything.
Thank you so much. Please.
I'm here actually from Wisconsin, and I'm here for my kids and for every other school age kid that's in America right now, because if we don't fight for their rights now, they're going to be gone. I actually just went to the school board in our county 2 days ago. I was the only one that talked about having the kids have masks optional, and everybody on the board, all 13 members, used my testimony. I'm here. It took 2 years. 2 years of me fighting the school board for my kids to finally go to school without a mask on. I'm done. I'm over it. This needs to knock it off. I'm a Navy vet. Shout out to all our veterans serving now and past. But this needs to end now. This is America. This is not, Russia. You know what I mean? We're not a socialist country. We are a free nation, and that's what this is all about. Being free against anybody else telling me that it's better that my kids or me get the vaccine, which it's not.
What do you make of the Department of Justice treating people like you who go to school board meetings and complaining and speaking your mind as domestic terrorists?
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. You want to talk about domestic terrorists? Let's look at the Kenosha, because I'm from Wisconsin. Let's look at the people from Kenosha burning buildings and destroying property. That's terrorism. This is patriotism. That's a totally different thing. We're not burning buildings. We're not hurting anybody. I don't see one person here having an argument with somebody or pushing their values onto somebody else. We're all here free, and that's the difference. We're not burning stuff. We're letting everybody have their opinion. You know what I mean? If you want to wear a mask, that's exactly what I told the school board. I'm like, if you want to wear a mask, have the kids wear a mask. If you want the vaccine, have the kids wear the vaccine. But stop infringing on my kids' right to an education where they feel safe, where they feel loved, and where they can be kids again. Absolutely not.
And you know what? A lot of those mandates, people who were criticizing them were themselves being called anti-science, but now even the CDC, a few months ago, they changed their guidelines saying that kids now are developing a knowledge of 50 words at 30 months rather than 24 months. So they're tacitly acknowledging that the masks slow cognitive development.
Absolutely. My youngest has severe asthma. And do you want to know how many times I've fought with this damn school? Because he's breathing in the hot, humid air, so his cough, acts up. And he was out of school 4 times because the school had me get him COVID tested, and it was all negative, basically because of his asthma cough. That's freaking ridiculous. That's absolute. I'm done. I'm fighting for my kids. I'm fighting for everybody else here. I'm fighting for the soldiers who, like you said, are getting dishonorably discharged because they don't want to put this in their body. I'm fighting for all of everybody.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Just like her, we took oath of office when we enlisted in the military. Yes. Nobody ever took that oath of office away from me or any of these other veterans here. We're still obligated.
We fought to defend this country against foreign and domestic terrorism. You want to talk about terrorism? How about Biden and everything he's doing and all the treasonous acts that he's been committing? Just going to leave it there.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you so much. All right. So, as you can see, the energy here is palpable. You can feel it. If you look that way, this is, I don't know, what would you call this, a barn? Probably a barn, right? Maybe somebody said a tool shed. It looks bigger than a tool shed. But as you can see, all the way out there, all the way to the road, filled with trucks, flags, tons of people. Out this door as well, there's probably, I don't know, miles of trucks, I would say. And, sir.
Bring back your crossword puzzles.
Oh,
all right.
You got a subscriber here, right?
Yeah, you do, for 5 years now.
Wow. And he's saying we need to bring back the crossword. Sorry, but
puzzles. Oh, can I say hi to my buddy in Homeland Security, too?
Sure.
He's tired of babysitting. Homeland Security, that's what they're doing.
Where are you from?
I'm from Franklin, about 40 miles from here.
Are you going to continue with the convoy, or?
Continue. My wife in North Carolina had to let me know where this location was because it's been so kept quiet. She found out about it.
Let me ask you, so during the Trump presidency, I've been to a lot of rallies, and people were usually waving the American flag only, right? But now, especially with the convoy, people are waving the Australian flag, the Canadian flag. What do you make of that?
Basically, everyone's just tired of it. It's just suppression from everyone. It's an act of freedom is what it is. Everybody's tired of it, and we're standing up. So we're doing it peacefully.
What is the best case scenario, do you think, that the convoy can achieve? Like, what happens, and you're like, wow, that's the best case scenario?
Best case scenario is it brings attention to the cause, and it just realizes how many people we actually support. There's a lot more support out there than what they realize.
Thank you so much, sir. All right. So the organizer earlier, he said that this will begin at 7. So it looks like someone has arrived. Well, keep looking over there. It looks like, I don't know who it is exactly, but let's look. Do you know who that is?
World War II vet, that's all I know.
Okay, it's a World War II vet. Wow. He's a World War II vet. I don't know exactly who, but well, let's see if he gets on stage. Maybe he'll get announced. But somebody just told me that man over there that you're looking at, he's a veteran of World War II. Wow. Well, let's start focusing on the stage. The event is actually starting, so we can just listen in.
Everett family for this wonderful location, and to all of you in Monrovia for this wonderful reception. We bow our heads. Father God, we thank you for this place, and we thank you for this miracle freedom going across our country right now. Father, we ask your blessing over the Everett family and over this convoy. Father God, you are in control of all things that happen. Your power goes before us. Your power strengthens us. We thank you. We praise you for everything you have done in the lives and hearts you have changed on this journey. Jesus Christ.
I'd like to invite up to the stage now Dirksen Newfield for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Make sure I'm not blocking your view.
Grace Kingman is going to sing God Bless America for us.
Sing with me on this one, okay?
Come on, girls, get it.
God bless America, land of love. Stand beside her and guide her through the hours from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, wide and foam. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Right now, please introduce to the stage Mike Lynn is one of the co-organizers for the People's Convoy.
You can tell I don't do this very often. Right? Anyway, wow. This is amazing, and I don't know that Brian and I could have ever imagined being a part of something like this when we were sitting in American government in high school together. I don't know what to tell you. Tell them to turn it up or something. All right. There we go. Dixie approves. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out to this. Anybody that's watching, everyone that's come out on the overpasses at all the places we stopped at night time. This has been a pretty incredible experience, extremely amazing, and I'm just going to start off with the story of this flag over here. I know a lot of people have heard it or seen it already, but it deserves another shot at that anyway. So we were out in Big Cabin, Oklahoma, and a fella said he needed to talk to me. Walked over to his truck, and he starts telling me about how his 78-year-old mother that lives with him sent him from Texas up there, and how his grandfather was in World War II in Germany in a tank. As he's doing it, he pulls this flag out from behind the seat and it's folded. I immediately knew what it was and started crying because I was scared of what he was about to tell me, to be perfectly honest. So he tells me that he got killed in action in Germany in a tank in World War II, and that flag covered his casket coming back. His mother and him decided that they wanted it to be flown behind the lead truck in this convoy because it was the first thing since that man passed that represented freedom in their eyes. I really didn't quite know what to say to that. Pretty heavy experience when you handed that out the window, but who am I to deny that, especially in honor to let something that has 48 stars on it, because it was folded for 70 plus years, fly behind this convoy. So we left a little early the next morning and went to 4 States in Joplin and got that flagpole set up. Beautiful eagle on top, donated by the cashier at the shop there that she said needed to be on top, and we're letting her fly. Now, the thing is this family didn't want recognition, they didn't want their name put out there because it's not about that man. But there's been many men and women that have served this country to keep our freedoms that we have, to protect our Constitution and our bodies. With that being said, I've seen lately, looking around on social media and stuff, there's a lot of people that still don't really seem to understand what we're doing here. That's what we're about to do. This isn't necessarily about trucking at all, okay? Us truck drivers, we're just the ones that decided to start this off, right? We're the ones, we're like the chauffeurs. We're going to open the door for all of your voices to be heard where they need to be heard. You see, we have the thing called the Constitution, right? Well, if some of you may know this and some of you may not because we've talked about it, but this is where the point of this convoy for the people, right? You notice there's actually more cars and campers than there is trucks in this thing, which is awesome, by the way. The Constitution gives us our freedoms and our rights, and I'm sorry, but it's not ever evolving because morals don't change. Yes, God gives us our freedom, but the Constitution ensures that our government isn't supposed to take it away from us. That Constitution right now is up to our government to be null and void because of the emergency declarations due to COVID. If you didn't know that, you know it now. What that means is we can basically live under dictatorship rule if they so decide. Yeah. Now, the whole reason I'm telling you this is because I'm just a truck driver, right? My kids race their bikes, so do I. That's what I know. But there's some doctors back here, okay, that we've met through this. Very, very intelligent people. In fact, they're the same people that the government entrusted to figure out how to fix this and then told to shut up. Yeah, boo. So, after meeting them, it became abundantly clear that this isn't about anti-vaxxing, this isn't about masks, this isn't about mandates anymore at this point, because none of that should have ever been in place. Because they can prove that within 14 days, we didn't need to have an emergency anymore. And for the last 2 years, we've been living under this dictatorship-style rule for no reason, other than financial gain to some of our government cohorts that decided they wanted to make money off of this. Okay? Nobody ever had to die. Nobody's ever had to take a vaccine. But if you choose to do so, that should be your choice. However, you should be properly informed, not just from the government, because whenever the government tells you they're the only source of information, you should be extremely worried. But you should also hear from the doctors that create this, because they know exactly what it can do. Okay? So the point of this is we really have no reason for the Emergency Powers Act for COVID, which means we really shouldn't be living under any type of dictatorship rule if they choose to do so. We should have our Constitution restored, and once we have our Constitution restored, and we can prove why it should, with the voice of our doctors, who are very brilliant people, way smarter than me, so I'm not going to talk about it much. But we can then go back and hold these people accountable for everybody that has died and everybody's lives. And that is the point of this convoy. It is about making sure that that Constitution that says we not only have the right but the duty as American people to stop a tyrannical government. Or I would say that a government that's telling you what to do with your body is tyrannical. And when we can prove that it shouldn't be, we have our duty to go stop, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We now have for United States Dave Douglas.
Let's try that again. Hey guys. How's Indianapolis doing tonight? For those of you who don't know, I'm a tiny little attorney from California by the name of Lee Dundas. Just going to say a few quick words about how this whole thing got started, or at least in my book, how it got started. We were reached out to a few weeks ago by some truckers who said, you know what? We don't believe that the artificial distinctions that the government is drawing are actually real. We don't believe that the Americans actually care about vaccinated versus unvaccinated, whether you're boosted or unboosted, whether you're white or black, whether you're Republican or Democrat. We don't think any of the Americans we know actually care about what divides us or separates us from one another. We think what Americans care about are what unites us, and the fact that first and last, we are Americans! And they further said that after 2 years of COVID, and the policies put in place to contain COVID, which have caused much destruction, that now that we have COVID in hand, through a variety of medical therapeutics and protocols, which the doctors are probably going to bend your ear about tonight, that it is time, after 23 months, that we reopen this economy, get back to work, jumpstart our businesses, and start living and loving and doing what we do best. As being Americans in a free society. Even the dog agrees. And what a pretty little dog with the bow on the head. So for my part, I said, God bless you. I agree with you 1,000%. And how can I help you boys and girls get your message out? How can I serve? And that is why we are here today. For those of you who are not aware, this has been a 100% peaceful, safe, awesome, transcontinental journey. 100%. 100%. We have working dogs, we have security, we have huge logistics teams, we have former naval commanders. Not because we don't trust the truckers to be safe, but we want to ensure that they are safe because they are leading the charge in restoring freedom to America. And on that note, I want to thank the security, the law enforcement officers that we have seen, the law enforcement agencies that we have seen, local, state, and federal, in every single jurisdiction from the time we left Atlanta, California, across 6 or 7 states, until right now, today, when we are standing here in Indianapolis. Thank you, one and all, because you have these boys' backs and you won't be forgotten. be going in downtown D.C. for reasons that you all know. I don't need to spell them out. All I need to say is these boys are very important, as are the girls in those trucks. They are the leading edge, and they need to stay safe. And we have seen what has gone on in the last year, and that is all we need to know about that. This convoy right now is 30-plus miles long. I stood on an overpass yesterday. 7,000 vehicles, according to Oklahoma law enforcement. This is also a round of applause. This is a resounding success. God's army and God's wins, I couldn't agree more. I want to thank, before I close with a little story about standing up, I want to thank the two partners who came to help the truckers launch this. You know, a lot of groups said that they were going to help. A lot of groups said they were going to help. But when push came to shove, the night before Atalanta a week ago, there were two groups that actually stepped up to the plate. That is the Unity Project and the American Foundation for Civil Liberties and Freedom. And let me tell you something, they did one hell of a heavy lift, along with a lot of other people. Give them a round of applause. They earned it. So for those of you who don't know, prior to March of 2020, when Washington Post, LA Times, and every other communist, billionaire, Chinese-owned rag decided they wanted to take me out, I was a Fortune 500 attorney who represented the biggest companies on this planet. And then for the better part of the last decade, I took a left turn from that work, and I started going against the Asian mafias that run child sex trafficking in brothels in Southeast Asia. And the best story I ever heard about courage came from my time in Thailand in 2013. I was working with a girl who was young, late teens at the time. She was my secretary. But she was also herself a product of the sex trafficking environment. And one day she walked into my office and she said, I want to tell you a story. When I was 12 or 13, my parents started fighting. And I walked down the street to clear my head, and I sat down at the end of our dirt road in rural Thailand on a bus bench. And about 15 minutes later, a pickup truck full of 3 or 4 men came by, and they jumped out of the bed, and they wrestled me to the ground, and they shoved a needle in my arm that had a narcotic agent in it. And when I woke up, I was in a slave trading camp on the Thailand-Burmese border, where men from all over the world would come to look at us and buy us for their brothels like you would buy cattle at an auction. And when she woke up, the reason she woke up from that narcotic agent is because a guard had knelt down and executed a 2-year-old baby next to her for crying too loudly. This is the world she came from. This is the world I come from now. And that is why I don't bow down to tyranny. And I don't give a damn what hit pieces are put out on me. I will take Washington Post for a long time. And then she proceeded. Thank you. And then she proceeded to tell me a story that I had never forgotten. I told it once or twice from the stage, and I think it needs to be told again tonight, so here we go. She said 3 or 4 months into her time in this slave trading camp, one day the guards decided they were a little bit bored, and they were going to round up the girls and start executing them for sport in basically what was a firing line. And they went down each girl and laid guns on temples and watched each girl struggle for the gun, only to ultimately fail and be executed at point-blank range. And when she got to that part of the story, she stopped talking. And she looked at me, and I looked at her and I said, "What did you do when the guard got to you?" And she looked at me, and she said, "I stood up, and I reached out my hand, and I said, you give me that gun, I'll shoot myself, because I don't want to ever live like this anymore." And the owner of the trading camp was walking by, and he overheard her, and he let her walk free. And I learned that day a lesson in courage I have never since forgotten, which is this. When you are staring at a locked and loaded double barrel full of hate and anger and tyranny that is about to do you in, you stand up! You stand up! Because it's better to you by on your feet than ever bow down to tyranny and tyranny. Give the trumpets a round of applause for standing up for you. This is what freedom is about. God bless them and God bless all of you.
Thank you so much. I'd like now to ask Dr. Ann Williams up to the stage.
We're all here today because we know that freedom does not come from the end of a needle. That's an illusion. Simply an illusion. And tonight, we can talk about a lot of things, but I want to talk about illusion versus reality. I grew up in a 3-stoplight town in southern Illinois, and during my time growing up and going into medicine, I always believed there was no way you could ever have enough corruption at the CDC and the NIH and the FDA to actually believe that they would lead us astray. They would mislead us intentionally and do us harm. That was my illusion. How do we create illusions? Well, let me tell you a little story, and I need a little show of hands here in a moment. When you think of the all-American hearty breakfast, what are the first 2 foods that you think of? All of you thought of bacon and eggs, raise your hand, please. Okay, I'm thankful for this one, but that is not a result of advertising. That is a result of a propaganda campaign. Okay? Advertisers long ago, and PR firms, public relations is literally the new translated name for propaganda when you got a bad name. That's all it is. Literally, they changed it. So, they knew, the PR people knew, if we try to sell somebody a piano, we can't just say, hey, you need to buy our piano. You're going to say, no, I don't have money, no, I don't want to, no, I don't like music, or I'm going to buy a truck, for instance. But either way, go kick rocks. So they understood that didn't work very well. So what they had to do was they had to create the reality around the customer in order to get the buyer to come to them. So, because they had control over media and everything else that people consumed for their information, they said, let's go do this. They got some different celebrities, they went to the newspapers, they went to the magazines, and they said, hey, let's make this a thing. That every modern home has a proper music room. Everyone. So, everybody looks around at each other and they think, well, this is a thing. They find the room, honey, which room are we going to use? That room's a great music room. I think that's what we're going to do. They look over in the corner and they say, honey, I think that piano would look really nice in that corner. Don't you think? So, piano sales skyrockets. Now, let's take another one, for example. Let's get back to that bacon and eggs. So what happened there was a bacon company went to a master PR firm and said, can you help us sell more bacon? So they didn't go to the customers and say, buy more bacon. What they did, he goes back to his own firm. They have a doctor on staff that works for them, paid by them, has to basically do what they say. He says, doctor, now, Americans don't eat much for breakfast. Maybe a roll and some coffee and maybe some tea. But that's about it. This is back in the early 1920s in that neighborhood. And so he says, well, wouldn't you agree, doctor, that Americans would be better served, their health would be better served if they ate a hearty American breakfast, maybe including something like bacon and eggs? The doctor who's on the payroll dutifully says, yes, I totally agree. So So he says, well, off the books, not with our company, no association here, would you be willing to send a letter to 5,000 of your doctor friends and ask them if they also agree? He says dutifully, yes, I will. So they get the results back. So they say they're counting the votes, never published, of course. And surprisingly, they get 4,500 yeses and 0 nos. Now, we don't need advertising. Here's what we do. We go to the newspapers, we go to all the media, the televisions, and we say, and here's how the headlines read. 4,500 doctors urge Americans that they need to eat a more hearty breakfast to better their health. Maybe something like bacon and eggs. And hence this is born. All scientists agree, 97%, all of these things come from these propaganda campaigns, but it's an illusion, okay? Now, that guy, okay, we're talking about bacon and eggs. Again, I'm thankful for this one. What else did he do? Well, he ran the propaganda for World War I for the U.S. government. Not exactly small potatoes. Also helped the CIA overthrow the Guatemalan government with a propaganda campaign that he created. Additionally, helped get a lot of women smoking with their Torches of Freedom propaganda campaign. Kind of a big player. So, not small potatoes. So how did they create these illusions? Well, let me tell you about his family. His great uncle, none other than Sigmund Freud. And more importantly, you say, oh, this is all in the past. We like eggs and bacon, you know? We don't need to hear about propaganda. Well, he also wrote the book called Propaganda. That seems significant, but more importantly yet, his great-nephew was none other than Mark Bernays Randolph, who was the first CEO of Netflix. So when you think about these people being able to craft an illusion for all of us to believe and for the public to go with, there is easily verifiable data. We can find the evidence of all of these things throughout history if people take the time to look. One of the illusions they created is that doctors, there were few, there were not very many that are behind this movement. Most every doctor agrees with these vaccines that aren't really vaccines. Most doctors agree that early treatment doesn't work. Nothing could be farther from the truth. We have thousands upon thousands of doctors behind the ones that are speaking that are behind you and are 100% in this fight. They're all there. We have everything from neurosurgeons to pediatricians to anesthesiologists to anything you name it. We're all there. And more importantly is another illusion. There's an illusion out there that the government always wins, that the government has power over us, that we the people don't have the power. Nothing could be further from the truth, and the only thing that limits us is our belief in that illusion. So aside from all the medical talk, what I want to tell you is that you have to understand that and break that illusion. You know, the little things that we do every day, the power doesn't just exist on a stage or with a microphone. The power exists with the people. The constant pressure, the peaceful and constant overwhelming pressure upon the system until the house of cards falls. Because our freedoms, again, do not come from the end of the needle. They never have. They never will. They don't come from a government that puts into law injustice. They legalize injustice. That's not where our freedoms come from. You know where our freedoms come from. They come from our Almighty God. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next we have a speaker pilot, Josh Yoder.
Hi, good evening. So happy to see all of you here this evening. It absolutely warms my heart every time that I'm in a group of patriots like this. The reason everyone's here tonight is because you're standing up. Finally, We've been waiting for so long across this country for people to stand up. For me, this journey started in August 6th, sitting in a hotel room in Chicago. United Airlines had just come out with a mandate for their employees. They said, you're going to get this jab or lose your job. At that point, there was no federal mandate. I spoke to a couple of friends and decided we had to do something about it. So we stood up and formed an organization known as U.S. Freedom Flyers. You may have seen the meltdowns that happened at Southwest and American Airlines. They blamed it on clear weather in Florida. You know, it's really pesky. But it turns out when you mistreat your employees, you take their rights for granted, and you think you're going to bring tyranny into the workplace, into people's lives, they don't take it well. And I'm happy to say we still have a lot of patriots in this country who stood up and didn't just say no, they said hell no. We're not going to take it. That hands down is the most effective thing that we ever did. On November 22nd, we filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration. We're suing them. There's a federal contractor clause in that mandate that all these airlines, large trucking companies, sea shipping, and rail, they're hiding behind it. They're saying, hey, it's not us. It's the government. They're making us do it. So we said, okay, no problem. We're going to help you out. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that and see what you do when you stand on your own. We're currently out of 27 airlines, 5 rail companies, Lockheed Martin and Boeing. Most of them have backed down. They've accepted religious and medical exemptions. To this day, we do still have 4 airlines who have stood up. They said, we're going to have a mandate regardless of what the federal government says. And we're getting ready to file lawsuits against them as well. What I've learned in this trip across the country with these truckers is that the American spirit is not dead. It has been amazing. I'll be honest, I've been really concerned over the past 6 months especially. I was afraid that the American spirit was dead. But I can tell you, driving from California all the way out here to Indy, I think I counted less than 7 overpasses that didn't have Americans standing on them with flags. It is one of the most powerful things that I've ever been a part of. I can't even tell you how proud I am to be an American right now. The fact that you're all here. This is the people's Convoy. It's about you. We are going to take this country back, and we can't deal with every citizen just like you standing up with us. I want to give a huge shout out to the truckers. I'm obviously not a trucker, I'm an airline pilot. I actually come from a family of truckers, and that's one of the ways that I got involved in this. But without them doing what they did, you would not see the movement that you're seeing across this country. Look at all these people that have come out. Look at all the average citizens in their cars that are following this convoy, and they're a part of it. It's because you see that there's a problem, and you want to make a change, and the truckers are spearheading it. These are people that have gone unnoticed and unappreciated for way too long. And you know what? It's over. There's a tip of the spear right now. They're standing up for you, and you're standing up with them. And we're all going to stand together as Americans. And we're going to tell this to the tyrannical government that we're done with this. We the people are the government. We're going to take the government back. And we're not going to accept tyranny anymore. So thank you so much for coming out this evening. Thank you for everyone that's watching this and supporting these truckers. You know, together, standing together, we're going to make the difference. We're going to change our country. We're going to do it peacefully. We're going to do it lawfully. We're not going to go into D.C., but we're going to stand up and say, hell no, we're not taking it anymore. The games are over. We're taking our country back. This is 1776 again. And everyone needs to understand that. Our rights, our unalienable rights, they come from God, protected by the U.S. Constitution. And the people in our government, they've forgotten that. You know, we the people, we are the government. We're going to stop it. We're going to take it back. I have a lot of faith in this nation, all the citizens of the United States. You know, we see what Canada did. They're standing up. This is happening all around the world. So many people are fed up. This is about all of us. as humanity, standing up for human rights and for each other. And I would just encourage you, never underestimate the power that you have as an individual. When you stand up and when you do the right thing, you never know who you're going to influence around you. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing people who stood up, and everyone is rallying around those people, and we're changing the world. Thank you so much for coming out this evening.
Thank you so much. I'd like to invite Dr. Ryan Cole from Idaho with the Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance.
I always like to start like this, because this is the heart of America, and I want to remember it. Come here, Dixie. You too, Sweet Pea. It's an honor to be here. And I want to thank you here, because I have a daughter who's a Hoosier. So I feel like I'm coming home when I'm here with you. A man who wrote a little pamphlet called Common Sense a long time ago, Thomas Paine, said, "If there must be trouble, let it be in my day, that my child may have peace." I look out on the face of courage here. This is real America. I don't see fear here. I see the hearts of lions. Thomas Jefferson said, "I am a revolutionary, that my children may be farmers, that their children may be poets." Now, I could stand up here and spew a bunch of medical knowledge. You guys can go online. You've seen us. You've seen our colleague, Dr. Malone, Dr. McCullough. You've seen the doctors at the GlobalCOVIDSummit.org. That's 17,000 doctors. They're the ones that care about health freedom. That's more doctors than are at the NIH, or at the CDC, or at the FDA, who have combined, thank you, who have fed you nothing but a crock of lies. I don't get my health instructions from Anthony Fauci. And I welcome and debate with him anytime. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. Yeah. But what is this about? It's not about red parties. It's not about blue parties. It's about red, white, and blue. Because that's who we are. I wore the uniform with pride, and I took an oath to defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We need our oath takers, and this is a room full of them. These are people that stand for freedom and believe in the Constitution and the rule of law. And we are peaceful, law-abiding citizens, but we're not laying down. No. If your doctor thinks MD means minor deity, find a new doctor. If your doctor thinks MD means make a difference, you found the right doctor. It's interesting in history, if you look at how tyrannical governments and socialist communist movements started. Mao, Stalin, Pol Pot, Hitler, where did they start? They took over the healthcare system. They took over the healthcare system. What have we seen in this last 2 years? Lies! Lies. Yes, we've seen lies. And we've seen evil attempts to tell you what to do with your mind and your body.
Those are yours. It is all we own. It is sacred and it is ours. I took an oath, and my oath wasn't to the government. My oath was to the patient. My sacred oath is between you and me and my ability to help you be well. But you know what? The best doctor you will ever see is in this room right now. It's not me. It's you sitting in your own skin. Yep. It's up to us to take care of our own health, not a government. This is a government that has overstepped its bounds. These are healthcare agencies that have overstepped their bounds. It is time to restore freedom to this great land. There is no medical emergency anymore. If they tell you that, they are lying. Yeah, media's lying too. Yeah, and if you don't know about the Trusted News Initiative and how they all colluded against us, yeah, look that one up too. I don't have time to explain that. I am proud to stand here today with my amazing brother truckers. And my sister truckers, because you're beautiful too. I have an old Peterbilt on my farm, and I like a little grease under my fingers. In the beginning of the day, I put my shorts on 1 foot at a time, just like the rest of you. Sure, I wear a title. That doesn't matter to me. The only title that matters to me is that I'm an American. And today we're all truckers. This, keep on trucking. And let's stand in freedom and unity with peace, firmness, and strong resolve. This is about our children, and we will never bow the knee and never let this happen to us again. This is not a red issue. This is not a blue issue. It is a red, white, blue issue. And I'm going to get my phone away. I want to finish with one thought. St. Augustine. And you may know this one, but never forget it. The truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
We got another Indiana doctor, Don Stock.
Here's a Hoosier. This is one of my brothers in freedom, Dr. Dan Stock, and I'm honored to be here with him. He represents you as a state, but he also represents medical freedom, and I think it would be an honor to hear a few words from my esteemed, humble, amazing friend, Dan.
My lovely wife Elizabeth and I came out here tonight because we figured if there was a group of people who were willing to inconvenience themselves and put their finances and their names in such great risk to stand up for freedom like this, the least we could do is walk out here and say hello to them. And then Ryan tells me I ought to come up here and speak to all you guys, which is even more flattering than I have been flattered in a great many ways. I was a little sad to hear the first speaker ever come out and say that he was going to have some doctors come up here who are a lot smarter than you are. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a bunch of letters behind my name. So does Ryan. So does Dr. Fauci. those letters and those credentials may have let me find out that this was a sham a little sooner than you guys did. But I doubt that there's anything about your intelligence which is lesser than mine or Ryan's that you didn't figure out pretty quickly that this wasn't about a virus and this wasn't about health care. It was just about making sure that you were subjugated. Ladies and gentlemen, no amount of credentials can be put behind any name to make him so that he can tell you that you're dumber than he is and that you should be genuflecting to his intellect. Who's the boss in the doctor-patient relationship? Ryan said it. I'll say it. Any doctor who won't say it is a doctor that you need to be taking your power back from, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honored to be standing here today, but let me tell you what kind of things honor me more. I am the son of a 35 missions over Nazi Germany bomber pilot and the woman he came home to cry out all the horrors that he experienced over there. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to put up nearly as much sacrifice as the people who fought underneath that flag did. You know, the greatest credential I'm ever going to have is the one that the people who sacrificed, like my mom and dad and the family who put this flag out here, the same thing that every one of you has the chance to earn, and that is to call yourself a United States citizen. And let me tell you how I hope you're going to exercise those incredible credentials that you share. Because the reason we got into this, ladies and gentlemen, was our legislatures have failed us dismally. Those governors, that president, Dr. Fauci wouldn't have that power if our legislatures had not given it to them and then walked away and let them keep it. And if you live here in Indiana, you know that because you've watched our legislature with a supermajority of Republicans do nothing to take back that power. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to listen to the newspaper tell you who the candidates are. We know you can think for yourselves because you're a United States citizen. You can find out who the freedom warriors are who are willing to say, I don't work for the leadership in the Senate or the House, either the federal government or the state legislature. I don't work for the lobbyists. I work for the people who are in my district that I'm supposed to be representing when I go there. I didn't get elected because I was really, really smart to make smart decisions for them. I got elected because all those people had a collective intelligence, and I was supposed to go there and be their voice. And if you have a candidate who has shown that he is not willing to stand up to his legislative leaders and say, you aren't what matters, then, ladies and gentlemen, you have failed to do what you as a citizen were supposed to be doing. When they wrote our Constitution, the Founding Fathers gave the state legislatures the power to take power back from the federal government and to control it in your name. And you need to make sure that that is where you concentrate your efforts, because the legislatures of every state across this country are where the solution to this lies. We're not getting a new governor. We're not going to fix this by shooting Dr. Fauci. This is going to get fixed by having the legislatures take that power back from the executive branch when they gave it. We have candidates who are stepping up in the state of Indiana to do that. Heather Carey, Becky Cash, Mark Pierce, Sean Selby. I'm forgetting Richard's last name. Bagsby, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, they need your time and their energy. And for those of you who aren't from Indiana, find out those candidates in your state and get that state legislature back under control so it's serving you. Not the leadership, not the lobbyists, not the federal government, it's serving you. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we will earn the right that these guys fought for and got for us. My mom and dad won't have suffered in vain, and your children won't suffer in the future. And that's what we all need, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone who came out here tonight just as much as I want to thank every person in this convoy who has sacrificed their time with their family, their money, and even probably putting their reputations at risk, as you know that they're all going to be written up badly in the press, all right? You're all going to get smeared too, but ladies and gentlemen, let's take all of them and show our gratitude by being involved in that legislative election and making sure that incumbency isn't what gets you a continuing ticket to represent your district. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Winston. Next we've got Congressional Candidate, North Carolina 12th District, Tyler Lee.
Well, good evening, everyone. As he said earlier, my name is Tyler Lee, and I'm a congressional candidate out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I just want to say it's such a privilege to be on this stage with fellow patriots like yourself, because this movement would not happen without all of you. And these truckers, I just want to take a moment to say it's an honor to stand beside them. And let's just honor them right now. Let's give them a round of applause. You know, these guys inspire me. This is the whole reason I'm running for United States Congress. They inspire me, they inspire you, and they certainly inspired the world. And I have to give a shout out to our brothers and sisters in Canada who lit a fire under all of us. 2 years ago, a line in the sand was crossed for me when the government decided to shut down my church and my friends' small businesses, but they left open the strip clubs, the abortion clinics, the liquor stores, big box retailers. And you know what my own governor in North Carolina said? He said, we're going to leave the liquor store open because we need to be able to cope with this pandemic. Yet, people were isolated from their community, from their church community, and because of that, we saw mental health and suicide skyrocket. And this is pure evil that we are fighting against. Since I launched my campaign last May, I couldn't have imagined. We knew it would go downhill, but I could not have imagined how quickly it has happened. But it seems like every day, we're all fighting for the police. We're defending them, not defunding them. We're standing up for parents because their children are being indoctrinated with this evil propaganda. We're standing up for healthcare workers and individuals like yourselves who have been terminated or threatened over termination from their jobs because they decided they wanted to make a personal choice that they didn't want to take the vaccine, and that is unconstitutional and un-American, and we've got to put a stop to it, and we will. But lastly, I have to give a shout out to my truckers. You know, honestly, before 7 days ago, I didn't know much about the trucking industry. And I have to say, many of you in this room are now family to me, and I've listened to their concerns. The over-regulation, the unnecessary regulations that these independent truckers deal with. That these corrupt, career-long politicians, they legislate from their ivory tower in D.C. and have no clue what these truckers and individuals deal with in their businesses on a daily basis. Lastly, I want to say one thing about this vaccine. My brother serves in the United States Army, but he has boldly stood up and he has denied the vaccine, and he is being discharged as we speak. And that is so un-American. We're going to put a stop to it. That's the whole reason I left the business world behind. I burned the ships. I'm so sick and tired of corrupt, career-long politicians that don't listen to we the people. In the Bible, there's a story where Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt. And he went to Pharaoh and he said, "Let my people go." This convoy is going to D.C. to say, "Let my people go." You know, I follow the Lord Jesus Christ, and I don't believe anything of eternal significance can be accomplished without prayer. So I feel like in this moment tonight, I want all of you to get on your feet right now. There's nothing stronger than this crowd that we have right here. And I want you to grab your neighbor's hands to your left and your right, and we're going to stand in unity. We're all going to pray for our country. We're going to pray for this convoy. We're going to pray for the administration. This is not about Republicans or Democrats, black people versus white people, although the elites want us to be divided, but we're not going to fall for that anymore. We are going to lead boldly and and fearless. And we're going to pray now. We're going to pray over this country. So bow your heads with me. Father, we come to you now. It's an honor to stand here on this stage. Thank you for this platform that you've given all of us in this room. You've certainly given us a desire, a sense of boldness to stand up against this evil that the church has failed to stand up against for many decades. And it's sad that we have to be here today and do this, but Lord, I pray your angels of protection over this convoy as we make our way towards the D.C. area. Lord, I pray for our country. I pray that scales will be removed from people's eyes and that they will see the light and that we give them a sense of hope and that you continue to use us as a vessel for your glory. I pray for our administration. I disagree with what they're doing, but Lord, I pray for our administration right now that they will come to see you and that they will begin to turn away from these evil ways that these paths that they're taking us down, Lord. I thank you for what you're doing in our lives, Lord. Thank you for this convoy. Thank you for these truckers, all these patriots. I just pray that you meet them wherever they are at right now, Lord. Whether it's a financial situation, it's a health situation, you know their individual needs. And I just pray right now that you continue to bless us and bless our journey as we head towards D.C. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Hey, one last thing I want to slip in, and then I'm going to drop the mic here. But when I go to Congress, I'm going to stop funding Anthony Fauci's salary. We're going to get to the bottom of who's funding him and why he's still there, why he's the highest paid government employee. He needs to go, and I'm going to go expose him, but I need your help. I need you behind me because I cannot do this on myself. I'm here to represent you. I work for you. We'll try to lock him up. Thank you all. God bless you, and may God bless America.
Thank you so much. We've got a special treat for you tonight. Just showed up. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita. There we go. Who here's from Indiana? All right. Who here's from out of town? Well, let me just say, as maybe, I hate to misspeak, but perhaps as the highest office holder found, let me welcome you all to Indiana, the great crossroads of this country. We like truckers here. We like people who love America here. Thank you for standing up and giving us, as the last speaker said, giving us all some courage to stand up for ourselves and stand up for this great nation and all the things that it's given us. No? And I don't know, maybe it's okay that Canada had to wake us up in this regard, but I think we've been waking up for a long time. They call it American exceptionalism. It's spelled with a capital A and a capital E. It doesn't mean that we think we're better than anybody else. That's not the point. It doesn't mean, although we may be, it doesn't mean that we have a better military than everyone else. At least for now we do. Thank God for those men and women. For me, as the Attorney General of the state of Indiana, what American exceptionalism means, is that we are unique to world history. Never before. And that's why you're standing here. You're not standing here because you want me to do something for you. You're standing here because we as the people need to make sure we're keeping this republic like our founders intended. That's the purpose. That's why you're here. If you're here looking, I'll tell you something. That guy with the mouth who says, do something for us. Bring us justice. Let me tell you something. Because no politician will ever be this honest with you. If you're looking for me to solve your problem, we will have a problem. This is not a one-person thing, and not one person, whoever gets on this stage, is going to solve it for us. It's only by keeping this republic and taking this country back. And that doesn't mean just going to Washington, D.C. I've been there. It's a terrible, toxic place. We'll go be known there, but you know where you got to be? You got to be in your school board meeting. You got to be at your city hall. You got to be at your county commissioners. Because that's where this pollution is starting. And that's where it's going. And that generation after generation is being indoctrinated. They're not being taught the things that we were taught in grade school and high school. They're not being taught any of that. They're being taught garbage. You know what? I've been to 100 schools. I swear to God. I have been to 100 schools across this country, not just in Indiana. In every classroom I go to, I ask them this question. Same one I'm asking you. Have you ever been taught American exceptionalism? Have you ever been, do you know what that means? Has your teacher ever said that to you? 95 times out of 100 the answer is no. American exceptionalism means we are unique to world history. Doesn't necessarily mean we're better, but we're unique. Why are we unique to world history? We're unique because never before have the best ideas for self-governance, i.e. liberty, come together at the same time, in the same place, but in that Constitution. It hadn't been done before, and it hasn't been done the same way since. We flipped it on its head. No longer are we going to be subjects of a king. No longer will we be ruled by a government, the king. In fact, we the people were on top. And the government is supposed to be subject to us. That's why you're here. And the only thing above us, we the people, is supposed to be the rule of law. The rule of law applies to each of us equally, so it's supposed to go. That is the government's not supposed to pick favorites. It shouldn't matter what color you are. It shouldn't matter your education level. That was the magic. That was the uniqueness. That was the exceptionalism. And that's why you're here. And the only thing above that is God Almighty Himself. So I don't want to take your time anymore. I I appreciate you letting me welcome you. I want to thank you for the time. I don't know if you're all getting paid for this. But this is a tremendous amount of time. I thank the organizers for keeping us safe. I thank our state police who brought me in and are keeping all of us safe. And I thank our local county officers. We are here for you. We are here for the police. And we are here for you.
Thank you.
So, do this. Remember, it's our country. As Franklin said back at the founding, you have a republic if you can keep it. That's where the focus has to be. And if we all get involved, if we all keep the pressure on, if we all keep the focus on, and if we all keep, yes, people in office have to be accountable, then we will be all right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Attorney General. Next to you, we've got Brian Brazzi, the People's Convoy organizer.
Let me first clear the air by saying co-organizer, because this is not just a one-person job. I'm not the only one doing this. There are many people a part of this. Many of them are here in this crowd right now. There's at least 30 truckers that are a part of this. There are multiple organizations that have come to, that you've seen some of them here that have come up to help us get this going. So, organizer, no. One of many organizers. And right now I want to give a big round of applause to those hard workers behind me that have done this every single day. You know, I didn't really come up here with a game plan, what to talk about, what to say, and I'm nowhere near as good of a talker as some of these people who've been up here. But I wanna start like this. It's not a right issue. It's not a left issue. It's an American issue. It's not just an American issue. It's a global issue. It's a people's issue. It's a human being issue. It's our issue. The People's Convoy may have been started with some truckers, motivated by our brothers and sisters to the north. Thank you, Canada. We love you. But this isn't a trucker's convoy. I know, weird. Not a trucker's convoy. It's a people's convoy. If you look around in this room right now, you see a lot of different symbolism around. You got a side-by-side hanging out over there. You got a pickup truck over there. Of course, you got the 3 semis in here, but you got a couple beautiful bikes too. You got an old Jeep. You got a pickup with a travel trailer out there. And happens to also be a mobile kitchen because he's taking care of some of us. You see an RV over there, and then you see a bunch of pickup trucks and cars under there. See, this ain't about the truckers. This is about the people of the United States. This is a people's convoy. And I encourage every single American, I don't care if you're from the left side of the aisle, the right side of the aisle, I don't care if you're straight, gay, bi, male, female, or whatever you may be. At the end of the day, you are all Americans. I don't care when somebody comes up here or any other platform and talks about why you should vote for him, because I'm going to be honest with you. Don't. Until you do your research. Look into your candidates. Read all about them.
Look into their voting record. Look into their personal life. How are they? Are they really a God-fearing man or woman? Really? Are they? Or do they just get up here and do a bunch of this? Do they really care about their husband or wife and their kids? Or do they just worry about the photo op? Don't ever vote a straight ticket. Never, never, never. Because I promise you, somebody on the right and somebody on the left is evil. You do your research. You become informed voters. The only way to save this country is for it to be ran by we, the people. It is high time that these career politicians go. It's time for things like, I don't know, term limits. It's time that it's recognized that holding a political office is a civic duty in which you leave and go back to work afterwards. Running campaign trails and shaking hands and kissing babies and smiling for the cameras every 2 years or every 4 years or whatever it may be is not running our country. It's just, I don't know, look at me, I got a pretty smile. That crap don't work no more, and it's pretty evident by looking at everybody in this room. We have had enough! It's time, and many of you have already heard me say it, so here it comes again. It is time to remind the governments around the world, not just the United States, but around the world, that they work for I love each and every single American. I love each and every single human being on earth. I don't care about your background, where you came from, what you believe or do not believe in. I do not care. I don't care because I believe in freedom. You have the right to be and to do and to think and to act as you feel. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Believe me, I don't agree with everything either. But you can't stand up here and talk about defending the Constitution of the United States or believing in absolute freedom, guided by rule of law, under the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights, and then try to not like something and protest it, really, right? But what you can do is you can stand up to a government that wants to violate your constitutional rights. You can stand up to people that try to take away your freedoms, and you should. At this point, this is your civic duty to stand up. It is the civic duty of all Americans, of all citizens of the world, to stand up. I'm going to ask my family to come up here, please. My family, come up here, please. That includes you, Dan, and you, Alan, and Bonnie. Come on. Not anybody in the world is who they are or able to do the things they do without the love and support of their family. Nothing in this world is more important than those in your life that are here from day in and day out for all the crap you put them through. These people on the stage, and there's many more, but these people on the stage are the closest thing to my heart. These are the people that keep me on the straight and narrow. These are the people that keep my moral compass exactly where it needs to be. And these are the people that remind me when I'm screwing up. Without these people right here, right now, I would not be standing on this step deck. Without these people right here, right now, I would not be the man I am today. And I just want to make sure they are recognized for everything you guys have done for me. And the man that you have already become. See, that ain't a family photo op, that was real. You see the difference? I got a little fired up there tonight because, well, I think you know why. I don't know if you guys know this because you're all in here enjoying the show. But right now they shut down the exit because there's so many people trying to get in here. It's backed up for us. You know what that tells me? You know what that tells me? There's a lot of people out there. Actually, I'd say it's a very small amount, judging by what I see going down the highway right now. But there are people out there that think we're the bad people. We're wrong. What we're doing is evil. They want to paint us as being some far right or left or whatever crap they spew out their mouth. But we're not. We're not that at all. We're a variety of people. We come from every walk of life. In fact, I don't know if you knew this, but trucking is the most diverse industry in this country. Truckers come from every walk of life. Literally. They come from, even in the American trucking, they come from every country out there, right, Jerry? Jerry left communism to come to the United States and drive truck. Throughout the journey to this spot, it's played in my head. Am I wrong? Am I the one that's wrong? Are we the ones that are wrong? I agree. The answer is no. And I know that because, like they said before, every overpass, I'd say from Arizona to here, has been packed full of Americans. I'm not going to go much longer, so I'll end it like this. All right, I might go a little bit longer. I'll try not to. All I'm really asking for, what my personal goal is for this convoy, is to wake the citizens around the world, not just the United States, but the citizens around the world to wake up. I want them to wake up. I want them to see what is going on around the world. I want them to feel that freedom. I want them to strive for freedom, and I want them to fight for freedom. But freedom isn't free. Many soldiers know that. And not many Americans. Freedom takes sacrifice. In our situation, it's the lost incomes. It's being away from home, missing our loved ones, to drive across this country to go make a freaking statement.
Yeah. Worth it.
There's a lot of cameras here and people blogging and stuff. That's all right. That's all right. But I want to use that to our advantage right now, even though people that hate our guts are watching. I'm begging that every truck driver around the world, stand up now. Australia, you're up. Batter up, Australia. I know you've gone through hell. I know you've tried. I know it's been difficult, but now our brothers to the north, brothers and sisters up north have inspired us U.S. truckers to do it. Goodness, I hope we can at least inspire you to do it too. Germany, Poland, Israel, Finland, Sweden, you name it, every single truck driver around the world, now is your time to stand up and send a message to your world leaders and your governments that they work for us! God bless you all. Good night. Thank you so much,
John Sensor from Epic Flag Events to explain the Northern American flag.
The great Rush Limbaugh said, "When are we going to see pushback?" Rush, I'm looking at it. I'm John Sensor, and my son and I drove in from Nebraska with a huge, ginormous flag, and it's sitting right over there in between a whole bunch of trucks, and it's crying out, "Illuminate me, illuminate me." I purchased this flag a year ago, and it's been sitting in my camper because I've been waiting for the right time to unfurl it. I decided a while back I was going to call it the Unite in Light Freedom Flag. And I heard about this event, I was following them, and God told me this is the time to unfurl it. It's never been unfurled before. This is going to be the first time, and there's no other flag like it, because it has that beautiful Spanish gold border around it. So, when you leave here after the last speaker, we're asking you to go out these doors, head over there, pull out your cell phone, turn on the light, and think about someone special in your life. Maybe it's your uncle who died in Vietnam. Maybe it's your dad who fought in World War II. For me, I'm thinking of those 5 sailors last August that died on the USS Abraham Lincoln in a helicopter accident, crashed on the deck, flipped over into the ocean. The reason it's close to my heart is because my son is a rescue swimmer, and he was a squadron just before that squadron. And they had to go train somewhere else, and that squadron came in, and they weren't scheduled. They volunteered to go replace them, and they're the ones who had the accident. So when I hold my light tonight, and I'm walking under that flag, I'm thinking of them. We can think about the Canadian truckers, the Ukrainian freedom fighters, whoever. But think about someone and hold that light to illuminate that flag. The truckers are going to turn their headlights on, and we're going to have a procession through, because we have different backgrounds, different nationalities, come from different parts of the country, but we're all Americans, and we're all going to unite in light tight to illuminate that flag. See you in the lights.
Thank you so much. We now have co-organizer from People's Convoy, Marine Steele.
It's 94 by 54. How big is that one? 40 by 20. It's huge.
Hi, everyone. Hi there. This has been an incredible experience, and there's a few sentiments I wanted to share with everyone tonight. So many of you aren't able to go on this entire journey with us. And it's been a life-changing experience for all of us. Some of the things that I've learned that I was unaware of after 2 years of quarantine. And one of them is the fact that patriotism is alive and well in this country. Everywhere we have gone, we have received the most beautiful reception, roadsides packed, overpasses packed, and what you mostly see is just the red, white, and blue. Just flags for freedom, pride in country again, and love of fellow countryman, which has been so dead for so long. The other thing that I've learned on this journey is how generous Americans are. Everywhere we roll into, people roll out the red carpet. There's enough food for thousands of people, and no one will let us pay a dime. There's food for the truckers. There's food for anyone else that joins. This has been just the beautiful American heart on full display. It waves and flares on the outside for all to see, and it has just been incredible, and I wanted to share that. In the back of our bus, we have a Rubbermaid bin, and it's full of letters from American people. We have letters in there from nuns. We have letters in there from moms and dads and businessmen. There's hundreds and hundreds of letters. But the ones that bring tears to my eyes, and some of the big burly truckers behind me here, are the ones from the children. There's a little girl, Whitney, who emptied out her piggy bank. And there's a $10 bill, a $2 bill, and 3 $1 bills, and a piece of candy in there for the truckers. A little boy, Travis, said to the hero truckers, "Thanks for keeping me free," and he taped a cookie to the postcard. And it's these beautiful things like that that are so heartwarming, seeing the American people come together, united for sure. But the beauty of the American heart and American generosity, it is second to none. We've seen it historically when people wash upon our shores for freedom, and they are welcomed here with open arms. We cannot let the light of liberty go out on our watch. It was handed to us by our elders, and we need to hand it down to our children for them to grow up in a free country. So I'm so proud of you all for being here. Thank you all for standing up and for joining hands and unifying, because we are a united country. Do not believe it for 1 second that we are divided. We are not, and you're showing it here this evening. Everyone is. God bless America. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marine Steele. Our last speaker, if I get him off the phone over here, is Marcus Summers from the People's Convoy co-organizer.
Whoa! How about that? It's great to see all you guys, and if the cameras would just go out there and just show everybody all the way out, like way out there. That's amazing. Incredible. I would like to ask Mike Landis, Ryan Brozzi, Rebecca, Jerry, where's Alan and Bonnie? That's who I was on the phone with. They're outside.
while they're coming up, I just want to say, you guys, it's been awesome to see this from the windshield of the tour bus. It's been amazing. Nearly every overpass that wasn't an exit or an on-ramp was covered with people from California to Indiana. That's incredible. We had the pleasure yesterday to get ahead of the convoy and stand on the bridge on an overpass and watch the convoy pass under us. It was amazing. We got to talk hands, talk to the hands, shake hands, talk to the people. It was incredible. So I want to say here, these here, Alan and Bonnie, Brian, Jerry, Mike, and Rebecca, and myself are the lead organizers here of the convoy, and I'm telling you, this is just an amazing thing. We are truckers. I'm a trucker. I'm actually I think I might have been the first guy that was hit. I was shot at driving my 379P on I-70 in Ohio. Some of these people were on the phone. They heard it. I was shot at. My glass was shot out of my truck. I wasn't sure what was going on, and they weren't either. But it was just crazy. That was back on June 8th, 2020. But somehow I dodged a bullet, and the hand of God kept me safe, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to be here. So, we're going to sing Amazing Grace, and we're going to sing it twice, and on the second time, I just want everybody to join in with us. Yeah, join in now. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saves a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. If you guys would please head on around the other side of this building, we're going to open up a very large American flag right between the trucks. I love you all. Be safe. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support.
Hey, just really quick, I forgot to mention something earlier that's really critically important. I don't know how many of you know about Pastor Art up in Canada. Pastor Art's a guy who's been to jail quite a few times, and he's been to jail because he's been standing up for freedom. And most recently, he was supporting the truckers up in Canada. He was doing nothing more than passing out food and water and having conversations with him, and they threw him in prison. They're trying to make an example out of him. They made him a political prisoner. So Cindy Chapin, who many of you probably know, she's organizing to help get him out of prison. And she has a website. It's called freepastorart.com. Go there, I believe on March 9th, they're asking for rallies.
You guys are awesome. You're doing a great job. proud that you guys are out there doing this for us.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. How we looking? How we looking? Are we live? All right. So I don't know if you are live. The red light is on, but so the speeches have just ended. My producer has not given me the green light though. Hey, Catherine, are we good? We're live? All right. So we are live now. Let's make our way to the other side of the stage. I want to speak to some of the organizers. So by the way, so you see that flag behind the stage there? If you take a look at that flag, right? So they're allegedly unfurling a huge flag. Somebody told me it's at least twice that size. So be careful. There's stairwell there. Let's go. Are you going to go see the flag, ma'am?
Yes, we are.
Are you excited?
Yes, very excited.
Do you know how big it is?
No, I have no idea.
Let's go take a look. All right, let's go see him.
I'm excited you guys are here.
Oh, there it is.
Serious.
Thank you, sir. All right, look, I got a couple of dogs. There's a really cute dog over there that passed by earlier. Hey there. Ma'am, where are you from?
Michigan,
What brings you all the way out here?
the people.
What do you hope to accomplish?
Freedom. Michigan.
All right, Michigan. All right, thank you guys. All right, let's go. Let's go see if we can actually catch the organizers. Hey, sir. Good, thank you, sir. Right. Where are you from, ma'am?
Terre Haute.
Where?
Terre Haute, Indiana.
Wow, Indiana. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Epic Times, it's the best. We watch it. I look at it every day, and I pass it on to all my family and friends.
All right, an endorsement.
Invest in Epic Times right here. Invest.
All right, let me give her $20 off to the side here. Ma'am, where are you from?
Rockville, Indiana.
Wow. Okay. Are you gonna follow the trucker? Or are you just gonna be here for the ride?
Oh no, I'm just here to visit.
All right. What do you hope the truckers can accomplish?
What they're saying they're going to accomplish, because we need to have everybody unite around this whole concept of we have the freedom, and people have just been dull and dumb and blind to the whole issues and things that are going on. So I'm thankful they're raising everybody up, and everybody's getting to see what's going on now.
What do you think of the way the mainstream media has been covering the convoy?
Well, you guys are the only ones that are doing the truth. I mean, I don't even watch anybody else anymore. I mean, that's the truth.
Last question. If somebody is watching this interview who's maybe only been watching the mainstream media coverage of the convoy, what would you tell them?
You need to open up your eyes and find another media outlet. You need to find somebody else that's showing a different viewpoint, a different side of the story.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. So let's go over there. I want to talk to some of the event organizers. Let's see. Thanks, sir. You got a young guy here. Hey, sir. All right.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about that. Hey, sir. You know how big the flag is they're going to be unfurling?
I don't know.
It's set to be big, though. All right. Ooh, see, we got a cord here. We typically go wireless, but there's so many people in such a cramped space. All right. So it looks like. Hey, sir.
Hey, guys.
Hey. Oh, the Attorney General. You mind if we get a quick shot? Attorney General.
Listen, I'm just very proud to be part of this. This is peaceful people who want to keep the republic, just like Benjamin Franklin asked us all those years ago. And I tried to inspire tonight, but they gave me more motivation and more inspiration to do my day job as Attorney General than I think I've ever given to them. So I'm just pleased to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, sir. That was the Attorney General of Indiana. So let's go. I want to speak to the event organizer. Ash is pointing to the Epic Times. Where are you from, ma'am?
Franklin, Indiana.
All right. What brings you out here today?
Just tired of the tyranny.
What is the best case scenario? What do you think the best case for the convoy would be? What do they achieve?
That we maintain our free republic. You know, enough is enough. We've got to stop this. It's got to end.
If we continue down the road we're on, what do you think is going to happen for the world our grandkids inherit?
That we'll have communism. They'll be eating their shoes to stay alive. We can't have it. We don't deserve it.
Last question. What do you think of the mainstream media coverage of the convoy?
We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's all honest and truth, and we'll go from there. Do a great job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go take a look. All right, let's go. All right. We got a young guy here. Look at this guy.
Hi. Say hi.
You like the trucks?
You like the trucks? You like all the big trucks?
You want to switch here? You interview me.
You gotta talk.
All right. Take care.
Awesome organization. Awesome.
Where are you from?
Alaska.
Wow, Alaska. You drove all the way here?
No, I got down here ahead of time. I drove up from Mobile and joined them here.
Why would you drive that far? Why would you come that far to join this convoy?
It's well worth it. Our country's at a tipping point, and I'll tell you, tyranny can take over unless we, the people, stop it. It's not up to our leaders, it's up to the people. And that's something that the general population has to understand. It's always been that way. If you remember the Revolutionary War, 3% turned it around.
Let me ask you, what is the best case scenario in your opinion? What is the best case scenario for the convoy that they can achieve?
The best case scenario for what?
For the convoy. Like, it's all said and done. The best case scenario in your mind, what is that?
The best case scenario is that it helps with an awakening. The people have to become not woke, but awakened to what's happening. They have to understand the relationship between our Constitution and mandates. They have to understand tyranny. And if we can awaken them to their inheritance in law and in the Constitution, it changes things. And the problem is that our school system is not serving that end. Our school system is, unfortunately, in many cases, well, it is controlled by the teachers' union, and that's controlled by the Department of Education. And you saw what they did a few months ago, where they colluded with the Department of Justice and the FBI in order to have a justification for the FBI to go in and surveil parents as school board. That's extremely corruptive.
Let me ask you last question. If the convoy doesn't succeed, like you said, and we continue down the path we're going, what kind of world will our grandkids and great-grandkids inherit?
If we lose liberty, our republic's gone. That's the only thing that is able to secure these inalienable rights that we have. So, the People's Convoy, the people, we the people, must succeed. And it's about the journey, not the destination on the highway. And it's really important that even after this event on the highway concludes, that we take the thrust of this to our children, our community, our church, our neighborhood, our state, and it has to be in the school board, the county board, state legislatures, and obviously on the national level. That's the only hope that we have as a people.
Sir, thank you so much.
Love your publication.
There he is. Okay, let me give you a quick $20 for saying that. Thank you. Well, this guy's from Alaska, so a lot of people are saying that, this movement started in Canada, so that man's from Alaska, right? Right there in Canada. He has to drive all the way through to make it here. Let's go talk to Billy Bays. Oh, hey. Hey there.
Roman, right?
That's right, yeah, hey.
Seen a lot of your stuff, man. Enjoy your getting the news out there.
As
a matter of fact, I canceled my local newspaper because I was tired of the tripe coming out of there and what they wouldn't report. Epic Times, I actually sent you guys money and said, hey, don't send me the paper copy. I'll read it online. Take the money and keep the damn thing running so we can get news out there that's really worth reading.
This is a real fan here. Thank you so much, sir. So I heard your speech earlier. Can you give me an idea? If we continue down this path where, let's say, the bureaucrats are running the show, what kind of world will our children inherit?
Well, not much of one at all. After all, these people have already indicated they're more than happy to make a lot of people die with selective information so that they can keep power. I don't know what all their agenda is, but obviously they're willing to sacrifice life, and if they've got that little compassion left in them, what is going to be left if we don't stand up and fight them? They're going to probably back down enough when they come out and say, oh, the pandemic's good enough now, we can let you have your freedom back, but they're not going to change the rules and let them take it back again unless we stay on them. It'll look like Nazi Germany on steroids.
Let me ask you a question. In your opinion, what is the best case scenario for the convoy? Let's say a month from now it's done. What is the best case scenario?
Well, I think the best case scenario is they all go back to the people they came from and say, look, you need to be investigating the legislators that are running in your district. And if they have not agreed to take power back from the leadership of that Senate and that House of Representatives and put it back down so the individual member of that legislature has just as much power as that leadership does so they can actually do their jobs and represent their districts, then we're toast. And that's why I spoke here today, because I want everybody to understand how we fix this. Not just that we need to fix it, but how we go about fixing it.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
Thanks so much, Roman.
Yeah.
Keep reporting, man.
Thank you, thank you. All right, let's continue down this way. I want to speak to the organizer, and then I want to head out, see that giant flag, and get people's reactions. Hey. Oh, look, what cute little girl. Oh, sorry, hey. Hey there.
You guys want to talk to a U.S. House candidate right here in Marion County?
Is that you?
That's me,
right.
Libertarian.
All right, let me ask you a question. What is the best case scenario for this convoy? Let's say a month from now, it's over, everyone goes home. What's the best case scenario?
Well, these are truckers. The next wave is going to be farmers in old grain trucks. I'm going to lead that one filled with cow shit. We're going to dump it in D.C. We're going to have this will morph into anti-government. My book, I'll give you guys a copy if you want, whoever takes that.
I'll give it to my publisher. It's called America 2.0.
I'm a libertarian, so I reach out to these guys, the right, I reach out to the left, and us independents make up 50% anyway. So we're calling to dismantle both parties. We're pretty radical. Get rid of both parties, fire all the fuckers in Washington, D.C., and call special elections. Give us the 10,000 congressmen we're supposed to have. That's what we're supposed to have. This county we're in probably would have 2 U.S. House seats. Marion County should have about 30. That's right there in the very top of the Constitution. They took that away from us in 1911, the Apportionment Act. So, you know, that's what I'm running on. That and legalized weed, which I think you guys might be a little religious, so we won't talk about that.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. And God bless.
Thank you. Mr. Mark McCloskey.
Yeah, nice to see you.
You as well. How's it going?
Very good. You know, we're just taking the country by storm. We could not miss an event like this. We drove here. We had to do an event in the state capital, Jefferson City, today on election integrity, but I drove 5 hours and a half to get here so that we wouldn't miss this. I mean, this is why the United States will never be taken over by the socialists. And the American people have woken up. They realize that we're a free people. We will not be sheep, and we're going to take this country back.
What do you think the best case scenario for the convoy is? Let's say a month from now, the convoy's over. What's the best case scenario? What did it achieve?
What it does is it highlights the fact that all of this COVID lockdown had only one purpose, and that's control. It was never a public health issue. It was never a public safety issue. It was a control issue. Same as like the Vax database now and all these other name-taking organizations. The DOJ announcing a task force to identify and track people that resist authority. Do you think that means everybody in this building? That means the 80
probably does mean everybody in this building.
It does mean it means the 80 million people plus that voted for Donald Trump. It means everybody that won't kowtow to the government. But the time has come for everybody to stand up and take a personal stand for their own liberty. You can't count on anybody else. You can't count on the government to save you, because the government's not out there to save you, but to take your rights away. Everybody has to seize their own rights. You know, as it says in the Declaration of Independence, to secure these rights, governments are instituted amongst men, securing their just powers from the consent of the governed, and it's time for us to pull that consent back until the government remembers that it works for us, that they aren't public masters, they're public servants, and we're going to remind them of that every day. And this People's Convoy is a giant step forward in reminding the people of this country that this country belongs to us, not the politicians.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure.
Yeah. All right, let's go. So my producer is kind of pulling me in this direction. Let's see why. She's... Well, she pulled me here, so maybe I can speak to somebody. See, but these guys are in the middle of a conversation, so let's see if we can pull anybody else. So by the way, so we're in this area because I wanted to speak with the event organizer, but I think everybody went outside right after the speech ended because that's where they're unfurling the flag. But let's see. Hey there. Hey, is there any of the event organizers standing around, or did they all go outside?
I think they're all outside for the flag.
Oh, yeah. Are you a trucker?
No, I am not. No, I'm not. I just came by. I'm a local, and
What brings you out here? Why did you come by?
Oh, just the atmosphere. There's so many people from all walks of life that have showed up to show their patriotism, and I mean it's awesome for me being from here, to be able to say, welcome to our home, welcome to our community. I mean, my dad that's over there, he owns a grocery store just right up the road, and I mean, he donated food. Him and my sister, I was working, but they got to cook food for everybody, and I was here last night when they all rolled in. I wanted to see what it's all about. And, I mean, I love my country. I mean, I want to stand up against all this bull crap that's going on, and just it's awesome to be able to have the atmosphere to let you know that you're not alone in all this. And it's awesome.
So let me ask you, you said you wanted to come by and see what's up. Now that you've done that, the mainstream media has covered this event pretty negatively, I would say, generally. Let me know if you agree with that. And if so, what would you say to people who have been watching the mainstream media now that you've been to this event?
Yeah, well, I would. It's peaceful. I mean, I came here with my mom, or not my mom, my sister, my dad, my grandma and grandpa, and I mean, we're all just fine kind of thing. I mean, it's all people getting along. I mean, there's people, like I said, people from all walks of life, and we're all getting along, having a conversation. I mean, I just got done talking to, forget your name, Todd, John, sorry. but I mean, he came up to me and said, I'm a Democrat, and we've got different, and but I'm Republican, and I mean, we sat here and had an awesome conversation for 5 minutes. I mean, there's not so much divide in this country is what a lot of people have to say to me. So
thank you so much.
Yep.
Wow. Oh yeah, go ahead. So Doctor. So I have gotten the name of the person I should be speaking with, Dr. Ryan Cole. Let's see if I can pull him aside for a quick sec. Dr. Cole, you mind if I speak with you for a quick sec?
Let's do it.
All right. So I heard your speech earlier, but let's say if people are just tuning in, what brings you out here today?
I'm here to stand for freedom with the truckers and the People's Convoy. So it's not just the truckers. This is about America, but not just about America. It's about the world. This is about people standing up for themselves, standing up against the extending reach of tyranny that's crept into our lives over the last couple of years. This is about bringing the power back to the people and having the people fight for themselves.
You know, what you said is very interesting because I was covering a lot of the Trump rallies for the last 4 years, and I know it's all American flags. But here, you have Canadian flags, you have Australian flags. What do you think that means?
It means the people of the world are fed up. We are sovereign individuals, and if people don't stand up for their bodily rights, their bodily integrity, if they don't stand up for the fact that the governments work for us, and that's how it's supposed to be. They've overreached into our lives. Our bodies are ours. They are sacred, and the relationship with our doctors has been usurped. Corrupt governments have stepped in and tried to push tyranny through socialized medicine, tyranny through control of your healthcare system. So this is about people, not just of America, of Australia, of Canada, of Europe, of the world.
Let me ask you, so let's say a month from now, the convoy's over. What is the best case scenario? What did the convoy achieve in the best case scenario possible?
The best case scenario is the people wake up and say, you can't fool us anymore. There is no medical emergency. COVID is over. COVID is fading. Sure, it'll be endemic. But at the end of the day, this is about people saying, we will never, ever, ever again let the governments of the world do this to the people. This is a sign that the people have risen up in peace, in love, in harmony and unity, but with firmness, to never let governments of the world overstep their call again. The mandates aren't on us. The mandate is on them to obey the rule of law.
Last question. If that doesn't happen, the scenario you described, what kind of world will our children and grandchildren inherit?
Not a good one. This is not about me. It's not about my children. It's about my children's children, your children's children someday. This is about never quitting in the face of oppression. Never quit. This is about always standing up for what's right, no matter what the cost is.
Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, so we have someone else. But I will mention there's some like a diesel truck running over there. It's an enclosed space. It's beginning to have that sweet, sweet taste of diesel. So, sir.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Pite. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Which state are you from?
I'm from Illinois. All right.
Sorry about that. No, I'm just joking.
No, I hear you.
What brings you out here today?
Well, I'm running for U.S. Senate in Illinois, and I've been exposing voter fraud. I did a lot of work in Arizona, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and I'm showing how they're running the new scam. So can I tell you real quick, like 60 seconds, how they're running it?
Here's the thing. This is not on YouTube. This is on Epic TV, and so yes, sir, you can.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. So inactive voters registrations. The way they run the scam is they take inactive voters within the files. There was 800,000 in the state of Florida, for example, out of 15 million. They make them active. Why do they make inactive voters active? So that then they are allowed to print the currency, real ballots. Once they print the 800,000 real ballots on 800,000 inactive, temporarily active voters, they move them back to inactive. So now they have these 800,000 pieces of currency. They have all the people that work for the government. They have to sort through them. 30 to 50% of them have bad addresses. They have the employees check them over. Oh, the addresses are bad. What should we do? Put them off to the side. We'll take care of it. Voter mules, come on out. They have the voter mules take all the ballots that had bad addresses that are real, and then they go and they find out, oh, let's get everybody to vote early. Why? So then you could see who's real that didn't vote. You can't go knock on the door of the people that didn't vote and say, hey, can I have your ballot that you didn't vote? Problem solved. We're going to take these ballots over here and we'll assign them to real people that didn't vote. Unless somebody canvasses, it's a perfect crime.
Let's say somebody's watching this and they're saying, well, that's in theory what's happening.
This is what's happening.
So where can they find this evidence?
This is the way you could prove it with the evidence. You go to your voter registration files of your particular state. Then you could drill down, you create metadata, and you drill down on the county level, then from a county level on a precinct level. And you can go and see the inactive registrations also fit the population distribution of how many people should be at various ages. So they literally calibrate how many inactive voters there are by the age so that then it shows up in the file and it looks uniform. And they not only the inactive voters, they're not all one party. They split it up so that it looks same age, sex, political party affiliation, and they pull the ones that they need when they need to make the rig.
Last question. Let's say somebody's watching this doesn't have the time to go through that whole process. Is there any place online that they can look to find this type of data?
I'm running for U.S. Senate, so BobbyPython.com. I've listed a lot of these videos. I've also walked through the fraud. I've shown the video where people can do it themselves right on Rumble. So I have my Rumble channel, Bobby Python. I'm on Telegram. I have about 60,000 followers there.
Can you spell your last name?
It's Piton. And you could I show all the videos of how people could do the work themselves. I don't believe that it should be centralized. I think that the people should be doing the voter integrity work by precinct, by county, by state, or by community and by state. It should never, ever go to anybody else. And can I end it by saying our elections in this country should not be run by either political party. Veterans, retired police, retired fire should be in charge of it. Can you imagine if the teams playing professional sports, they had all the refs and they got to meet up and decide what the game result was going to be before they started playing the game to make the money in Vegas? We would never watch, right? And we shouldn't, at least. Well, this is the way our political system is. We need to get Americans that have served and been willing to die for this country and freedom. They should be the ones counting the ballots. We should go back to paper, get rid of all the machines, and we need to be in control of who gets a printed ballot. We, the people, should be, not a political party.
Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, check it out. He says he has evidence on his Rumble page, Bobby Python. All right, so let's. So it looks like people have cleared out. Let's make our way out here, so that way we can. Oh, it's an interesting-looking dollar. So that way we can take a look at this giant flag. So when somebody on stage said that they were unfurling a giant flag, everybody was looking to the back because he kind of pointed that way, but he said it's actually outside. Oh, okay, my producer gave me a funny look like the flag wasn't there, but it looks like she doesn't know. Hey, sir, where are you from? Clayton. Hey, this guy knows my name without even me telling him.
Hey, Roman, how are you? Kelly Johnson from Southern California.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, hey, well, I know Lee Dundas, and we're out here supporting the People's Convoy and just trying to get our country back and get to the truth, just like you guys, so.
So you've been riding with them ever since California?
I just flew in today, and I'm here with Channel 5 News YouTube, Andrew Callahan also.
Wow, nice.
So.
Cool. All right. Well, let me ask you one question.
Sure.
Oh, can we mind if we walk and talk, or are you going this way?
Walk and talk.
All right, let's go. So question, in your opinion, how's the mainstream media's coverage of the convoy been?
They haven't really been covering it. It's been more independent media, people live streaming and that type of thing. I've been seeing some local news handling it, maybe some Fox local, but nothing really national that I've seen.
Why do you think that is?
I don't think they want the truth to come out. They've been trying to suppress, distract, confuse Russia, Ukraine, and all that kind of thing. So...
Why is that, though? I mean, this convoy is huge. I mean, somebody mentioned that it's like 38 miles now.
A lot of people that are supporting it, a lot of people that are trying to get our country back to where we need to be, and a lot of people that don't want that to happen. A lot of people that just want to suppress the truth, distract, confuse, and they don't want to know that the people are actually united, that we all want freedom. If you heard what the speakers had to say today, it's not right or left, it's not red or blue. It's we're all Americans, and we all need to stick together and unite. And that's kind of where we are.
Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, Roman.
All
God
right,
bless you.
sir.
Keep jamming.
Thank you, sir. So my producer is giving me the left. Oh, sir, what brings you out here today?
Tell him. Say freedom.
I think he actually said freedom.
Tell him.
Is it a girl, actually? Yeah. Oh, oops. I should have known by the flower in the head. All right, so my producer is kind of directing me in this direction because I believe that there's a giant flag that's being unfurled. Yes. Oh, who's waiting for me?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Tyler Lee. I'm running for United States Congress.
All right. And which state?
Based out of North Carolina.
All right, North Carolina. So what brings you out here today?
Well, I joined the convoy a week ago, and I'm here to represent the American people. I left behind the business world to run for Congress because we're lacking representation in Congress.
What do you think the convoy, in the best case scenario, what do you think the convoy achieves?
It's ignited a fire of...
Sorry, let's just do that. I got the wire here.
It's certainly ignited a fire under patriots. It's
Where does this story begin?
It's the place you're in, child.
There's invisible forces around us all the time.
And you see it!
We travel with no destination, they say.
Why am I here?
What is the real story of America?
What's this all about?
The culture's gone crazy, media's gone mad, and reason has become repugnant.
This is American thought leaders.
Well, they are not telling the truth.
It's going to take down the culture and the country.
Everything that depends on this technology is failing.
This story, although set in the past, is about the future.
There's reporting that can be trusted. There are programs that can inspire every generation. There is a television network worth watching and sharing. Our commitment is to bring you the facts and to show you the world. We won't be divided by politics, and we won't be swayed by the dollar. We believe in the strength of our nation and the hope in our shared humanity. We are NTD Television, and we are proud to bring you news you can trust and programs that make you smile. NTD, the power of truth. Now available 24/7 on television and streaming platforms.
A journey for freedom.
We are people!
11 days from California to Washington, D.C. Trucker convoy protests. Our first-hand information. Look out for special coverage with NTD News.